Welcome back to the channel. This is where we dive into powerful book summaries designed not just to inspire, but to equip you with lessons you can actually apply. Because here, it's never about listening passively. It's about learning, practicing, and transforming. So let me ask you, have you ever had a dream so important to you, but no matter what you did, it felt just out of reach? Or maybe you've seen others achieve their goals while you're left wondering why yours always slip away. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. At some point, we all feel like success is reserved for a chosen few, like some people are just wired to win while the rest of us are still trying to figure out the playbook. But here's the real question, why not you? Why can't you win, too? That's exactly what the book You Can Win is about. It's not just another dose of short-lived motivation. It's a structured guide that shows how success really works, step by step. It helps you set clear goals, build direction, and take consistent action. And the best part? Every chapter ends with a simple action plan you can practice, like an exercise. These aren't theories. They're techniques used by successful people around the world. So if you're serious about change, stick with me till the end. And if you're new here, don't forget to hit subscribe so you never miss these powerful breakdowns. The role of attitude. Let's start with the foundation, attitude. Why do some people and organizations thrive while others struggle to stand out? The answer boils down to quality, not just in products or services, but in the mindset and character of the people behind them. In the world of achievement, attitude is the hidden line between winning and losing. Think of it like a skyscraper. No matter how tall or shiny it looks, if the foundation is weak, it won't last. The same is true for life and business. Without a strong inner foundation, success is fragile. This is what makes top-quality people so valuable. They're not just present, they show up with energy, vision, and determination. Studies show most people don't land jobs purely because of their skills. They get hired because of their attitude. And once they're in, that same attitude becomes the fuel for long-term success. So where does attitude come from? It's built by the environment you grow in, the experiences you go through, and ultimately, how you choose to interpret the world around you. People with a positive mindset remain calm in crisis, think creatively under pressure, and uplift those around them. They're patient, confident, and resourceful. And here's the key, this isn't a gift you're born with, it's a skill you build through daily practice. Protect your mind. Keep learning. And avoid feeding on negativity, whether from toxic people, empty conversations, or the media you consume. Because what you let in eventually shapes what you believe. Let me illustrate with a story. There was once an African farmer named Hafi who lived happily working his land. One day, a wise man visited him and said, "Diamonds can make you rich beyond imagination. A diamond the size of your thumb could buy a city, and one the size of your fist could buy a country." That single thought took root in Hafi's mind. Suddenly, the life he once loved felt small. Restless, he sold his farm and set out in search of diamonds. For years, he searched but found nothing. Exhausted, broke, and hopeless, he ended his life by drowning in Spain. Meanwhile, the man who bought his farm noticed something sparkling in the river that ran through it. It was a diamond. In fact, the land sat on one of the richest diamond mines in the region. Here's the lesson, Hafi was living on treasure the entire time, but he let discontent and doubt blind him to what he already had. His attitude cost him everything. That's how powerful mindset can be, it doesn't just shape your thoughts, it shapes your destiny. Winning strategies. Now that we know attitude is the foundation, here's the next step, realizing it's a choice. Which means success isn't luck. It's built, decision by decision. To move forward, you can't just sit and wait for life to hand you opportunities, you have to seek them, act on them, and grow through them. Success isn't a finish line, it's the process of achieving one goal after another, even when obstacles stand in your way. And make no mistake, every success story includes struggle. Take Thomas Edison, for example. Before inventing the light bulb, he failed close to 10,000 times. But he never gave up. Why? Because he didn't view those attempts as failure. He saw them as steps that brought him closer to the solution. That's the mindset winners carry, a mix of desire, commitment, and personal responsibility. They don't outsource their destiny, they own it. And if you want to win, you need to carry that same mentality forward. To win in life, you need three things: the hunger to outwork others, the discipline to manage your time, and the courage to keep moving when challenges try to knock you down. Most people give up right before they're about to succeed. They quit not because they can't win, but because they lose faith in themselves. If you want to stand out, you need to take risks, push forward even when it hurts, and treat every mistake as a stepping stone. And above all, stay grateful, because gratitude keeps you grounded while you climb higher. Let me share a story. A young man once asked Socrates, "What's the secret to success?" Socrates told him to meet him at the river the next morning. When the young man arrived, Socrates suddenly pushed his head underwater. The man struggled, kicked, and fought desperately for air. Just before he passed out, Socrates pulled him up and asked, "What did you want most when you were underwater?" The young man gasped, "Air." Socrates said, "Exactly. When you want success as badly as you wanted air, you'll achieve it." His method may sound extreme, but the lesson is unforgettable. Real success comes only when your desire for it becomes unstoppable. And here's the truth about motivation: the biggest question isn't how do I do it? It's why am I not already doing it? Most people know what steps they need to take. The gap isn't knowledge, it's action. Inspiration from outside can spark a fire, but lasting motivation comes from within, from your values, your vision, and the life you want to build. People who set clear targets and meaningful goals naturally find themselves more energized. External forces like money, fear, or rewards can push you for a while, but they don't last. Real drive comes from within, from the pride of doing good work, the satisfaction of progress, the responsibility you carry, and the care you show for others. And motivation isn't just for you, you can inspire it in others too. Show genuine respect, acknowledge their effort, give them real support, and challenge them just enough to help them grow. People rise higher when they feel seen, and when someone believes they can do more. Here's a story that captures this perfectly. A boy on his school soccer team was always a reserve. The coach never trusted him to play, though his father faithfully showed up to every game. The boy rarely touched the field. Eventually, he stopped practicing altogether. But one day, right before the school's final match, he returned, focused and determined. He begged the coach for a chance to play. At first, the coach refused. It was the championship, after all. But the boy's persistence won out, and he finally got his chance. What followed shocked everyone. He played like never before, running harder, scoring goals, and leading his team to victory. After the match, the coach asked, "How did you play like this today? I've never seen this side of you." The boy replied softly, "My father came to watch me today." Confused, the coach said, "But your father wasn't here." The boy lowered his head and explained, "My father was blind. He came to every game but never saw me play. He passed away recently, and today, I felt he was watching me from above. I wanted to make him proud." That's the power of purpose. When your reason is strong, your effort becomes unstoppable. So if you want lasting motivation, pick one clear goal, understand why it matters to you, take one small step today, and hold yourself accountable tomorrow. Raise your standards. Expect growth. Keep moving forward, one choice, one step, one day at a time. Self-esteem, building a positive self-image. What you believe about yourself changes everything. When your self-image rises, your performance rises with it. You feel more confident, more motivated, and more willing to aim higher. But be careful, the people you surround yourself with play a big role. Spend too much time around negative, unreliable voices, and your standards drop. Surround yourself instead with people who keep their word, take responsibility, and approach life with positivity. True self-esteem isn't built on empty words. It's reflected in your actions, the choices you make, the boundaries you set, the way you treat others, and the promises you keep to yourself. Your upbringing, environment, and discipline all shape this inner picture. And discipline, contrary to what many believe, isn't the opposite of freedom, it's the steering wheel that keeps your freedom moving in the right direction. Success isn't about only doing what you love, it's about bringing your full heart into whatever you do. Life won't ever be perfect, but confidence is trusting yourself to handle its imperfections. To strengthen your self-image, let go of old painful stories and focus on your wins, no matter how small. Practice kindness, help others, give genuine compliments, and when someone praises you, accept it simply with gratitude. Speak to yourself like you'd speak to a friend. And most importantly, keep the small promises you make to yourself. Those daily wins quietly build an unshakable confidence. Take the story of Wilma Rudolph. As a child, she was struck with polio and forced to wear leg braces. Doctors doubted she would ever walk properly again. But her mother refused to accept that verdict, and so did Wilma. She trained relentlessly, fell behind many times, and lost more races than she won in the beginning. But step by step, with discipline and persistence, she grew stronger. In the 1960 Rome Olympics, Wilma not only walked, she ran her way into history, winning the 100 meters, the 200 meters, and the 4x100 relay, becoming the first American woman to claim 3 gold medals in track and field at a single Games. The same legs once braced for walking became the fastest on Earth. That's the power of self-belief. With clear values, steady discipline, and daily action, you can build yourself from the inside out, and when that inner picture changes, your outer results will follow. Interpersonal skills, building a pleasing personality. There's a saying, the world needs people knowledge more than product knowledge. Skills matter, yes, but how you treat people matters more. Charisma isn't some magical gift, it's simply caring, connecting, and making others feel respected. Life works like an echo, whatever you send out, kindness, respect, positivity, always finds its way back. If you want stronger relationships, avoid what destroys them, dishonesty, rudeness, and selfishness. Instead, take responsibility for your words and actions. Listen for feelings, not just facts. Keep your promises. Criticize less, encourage more. And when others make mistakes, remember, they're human. Forgive quickly. Speak less, listen more. Admit your own mistakes before pointing out someone else's. And instead of trying to win arguments, focus on having conversations that actually help. At the end of the day, if you want good friends, be a good friend. Here's a story to illustrate this. 2 farmers were neighbors, one sold butter, the other baked bread. Each day, they traded a fresh loaf for 1 pound of butter. One day, the baker suspected the butter was lighter than promised. He weighed it, and his suspicion was right, it was less than a pound. Furious, he dragged the butter seller to court. The judge asked, "How do you weigh your butter?" The man replied, "I don't have weights. I use the baker's loaf. I put his bread on one side of the scale, and my butter on the other, because he always claims his loaf weighs 1 pound." The courtroom fell silent. The truth was clear, you get back what you give. And that is the essence of interpersonal skill, offer fairness, honesty, and respect, and it returns multiplied. Practical daily habits make this real. Greet warmly, use people's names, ask thoughtful questions, and then listen fully. Notice effort. Say thank you often. Avoid gossip. Speak to people, not about them. When you're wrong, apologize quickly. Keep even the smallest promises. That's how trust is built, and once people trust you, your reputation, your relationships, and your opportunities will naturally grow. Subconscious mind and habit, making success automatic. We are all born with the capacity to succeed. What holds most people back isn't talent, it's their habits. From the outside, successful people look like everything comes easily. In reality, they've trained themselves so well that success has become second nature. Their subconscious mind runs the right routines on autopilot. Here's the principle: your conscious choices train your subconscious. The subconscious doesn't debate, it simply follows repeated instructions. So whatever you do daily, whatever you read, watch, listen to, and whoever you spend time with, all of it is programming your future. That's why it's crucial to create an environment that feeds success. Better books. Better company. Better routines. Of course, habits aren't easy to change. The mind naturally resists. That's normal. The key is to keep your vision in front of you and act anyway. Habits don't grow overnight, they grow with patience and discipline. Here's a short story. Two young brothers loved tennis, but their father once complained about the cost of lessons. The response was simple: tennis is cheaper than bad habits. The game kept the boys healthy, focused, and engaged. Because life is like a vacuum, if you don't fill it with positive habits, negative ones will rush in. So ask yourself honestly, are my habits pulling me toward success, or toward failure? Decide today to replace what holds you back with what lifts you forward. 12-Day Habit Kickstart. Here's a simple plan to train your subconscious and reset your routines in just 12 days. Day 1, clean up self-talk. Drop "I'm tired." Replace it with "I'll do one small step." Day 2, pick one keystone habit, something small but meaningful, like 10 minutes of reading, walking, or writing. Day 3, make it tiny and timed. Shrink it to a 2-minute start. Fix a time and place. Day 4, shape your environment. Lay out what you need. Remove distractions. Day 5, add accountability. Tell a friend. Track progress daily. Day 6, use the instead rule. When an old trigger shows up, swap it with the new habit. Day 7, micro reward. Celebrate with a small stretch, a song, or a check mark. Day 8, visualize for 60 seconds. See your future self already living the habit. Day 9, track the streak. Mark each day. Don't break the chain. Day 10, remove friction. Prep the night before. Make starting effortless. Day 11, identity sentence. Say, I am the kind of person who shows up even when it's hard. Day 12, review and level up. What worked? Keep the streak going. Build habits this way, and you won't just succeed once, you'll succeed automatically, because success will become who you are. Habits that match your identity. If a habit feels solid, increase it by just 10%. Success isn't about giant leaps, but steady steps that match the person you want to become. Build habits that align with your future identity. Start small, repeat daily, and let your subconscious carry the load. Over time, success won't just be a goal, it will be your default setting. Goal setting, turning dreams into direction. People without a clear vision rarely reach their destination. Without direction, they drift, moving from one thing to another without real progress. That's why setting goals is so different from merely having dreams or wishes. Dreams are vague. Goals give you structure, urgency, and purpose. So why do most people never set proper goals? The truth is, deep down, they doubt themselves. They fear failure. They feel uncertain about their own abilities, so they settle for whatever life hands them. But this is the gap between ordinary and extraordinary ambition. Ambition is what separates the average from the great. To succeed, your goals must be smart, specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. For example, instead of saying, I want to get fit, say, I want to build a six-pack in 6 months. A clear goal gives your mind something concrete to chase, along with accountability. Don't aim for the impossible. Aim for what stretches you but still feels within reach. And remember, success isn't about obsession. Some people get so fixated on one goal that they lose balance. Health, relationships, happiness, they all matter. True success doesn't mean sacrificing life. It means improving it. Here's a powerful example. Florence Chadwick, the world-famous swimmer, had already crossed the English Channel and set her sights on the Catalina Channel. She swam through icy waters, dense fog, and even sharks, but eventually gave up, just 1 mile from the finish line. She later admitted it wasn't fatigue that stopped her, but the fog. She couldn't see the shore, so she lost hope. 2 months later, she tried again. This time, she pictured the shoreline clearly in her mind. That one shift carried her through, and she didn't just succeed, she shattered the men's world record by 2 hours. Florence's story teaches us something vital: vision matters. You can be strong, talented, and determined, but if you can't see your goal clearly, you'll give up too soon. But with a clear vision and strong goals, even the thickest fog can't stop you. Values and vision, doing the right thing for the right reason. But goals alone aren't enough. Without the right values guiding them, even big achievements feel empty. So how do we know if the values we live by are right? The book offers two simple but powerful tests. First, the mama test. Before acting, ask, would my mother be proud of this decision? If yes, you're likely on the right path. If not, it's a signal to rethink. Second, the father test. Imagine you're the parent. Ask, if my child saw me do this, would they look up to me? If the answer is yes, you're aligned with integrity. If no, it's time to realign. Values aren't fixed forever. They must be practiced and nurtured daily. They shape your identity and determine what kind of life you'll live. Wrong values lead to confusion, regret, and emptiness. Right values bring clarity, peace, and purpose. And from purpose, your vision is born. Once your vision is clear, your direction becomes unstoppable. Let's bring this home with the famous story of King Midas. He loved gold so much that he wished for everything he touched to turn into it. A stranger granted his wish, and by morning, his bed, his table, even his walls, all turned to gold. At first, Midas rejoiced. But when he tried to eat, the food hardened in his hands. When he embraced his daughter, she too turned into a golden statue. In his blind greed, Midas had gained everything, and lost what mattered most. The lesson? Success without values is failure in disguise. If your vision isn't guided by the right principles, what looks like wealth will turn into poverty, and what looks like victory will turn into loss. The food turned to gold. The water turned to gold. Midas couldn't take a bite. He was starving, desperate. But the real tragedy came when his young daughter ran into his arms. The moment he hugged her, she too turned into a lifeless golden statue. Midas was shattered. He wept in guilt and regret, begging the stranger to take his wish back. The stranger returned and asked, "Now what do you want?" And Midas whispered, "I want my daughter back. Take everything else, I just want her." His wish was reversed. His daughter came back to life. And for the first time, Midas realized what truly mattered. It wasn't gold. It wasn't wealth. It was love. It was family. It was life itself. Just like King Midas, if we don't pause to examine our values, we may spend our lives chasing the wrong things. Shiny distractions that look good on the outside but are meaningless on the inside. That's why we must ask ourselves, what really matters to me? Only when we're clear on that can we set goals that lead to a life worth living. Conclusion. This book doesn't just tell you how to become a winner. It shows you exactly what it takes to turn yourself into one. It reminds us that success is not built on luck or surroundings, it's built on mindset, character, and values. We've seen why maintaining a positive attitude is the foundation of achievement. We've learned how motivation and self-esteem fuel progress, keeping us focused and energized. But success isn't only about personal drive, it's also about relationships, respect, and integrity. Life is like a boomerang, whatever you send out, kindness, honesty, positivity, always returns to you. We also explored goal setting. Not vague dreams, but smart goals, specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. Yet even the sharpest goals won't matter if they rest on weak values. Lasting success comes only when ambition is guided by integrity and purpose. So keep your vision clear. Keep growing. Keep giving. Because life is a win-win game, the more you give, the more you receive. When you lift others, the universe has a way of lifting you. Now the real question is, what will you do with what you've learned? The tools are in your hands. The path is in front of you. Success is waiting, you just need to take the first step. Thank you for listening to this summary of You Can Win by Shiv Khera, an inspiring guide that proves success is intentional, not accidental. If you found value in this video, pause for a moment and reflect. What's one lesson that hit you the hardest? Share it in the comments, we'd love to hear from you. And if you enjoyed this, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss another life-changing summary.